Well, welcome to anyone that's new to Toad Circle, and welcome to people that have been with us for a while now. I'm really excited about this call, and it's so long. So, actually, I'm just gonna go get my water bottle real quick, and then we can get started.
It snowed again today here in Colorado Springs. And coming from the South, since I was born in Louisiana, snow always makes me happy. So I don't know if that will ever go away. How long do I have to live in Colorado for it to actually not be a big deal for me anymore?
I don't know. I grew up when it snowed a lot, and I always loved it, until I started driving a lot, and then the snow kind of can be annoying. But now I wish it would snow. Alrighty. You guys ready? Yeah, I think
Can
we're
you
ready.
hit record? Or is it already recording?
Yes, it is recording.
Okay.
If you guys have any questions, feel free to put in the chat. We will address them as they come in. You can also raise your hand, I think, on here. We can,
Mhm.
um, you can ask your question. There'll be times. This is a pretty straightforward call, and picking out fabric should be pretty straightforward for this sew along, so I don't anticipate a lot of confusion. Some sew alongs are more difficult than others for picking out fabric, and this one is like very straightforward. So if you're on the fence with, going mystery or teeter club, then this is a great one to keep it a mystery. All right, so let's get started. We can do a little introduction. I am Taylor, owner of Toad and Sew and Toad Circle. And I don't know, I guess I can jump into I live in Seattle, Washington, and I got two rescue pups. One is named Toad, and that's kind of the where Toad and Sew came from. Um, what I'm trying to think of what else. Book genres. I really like all different types of book genres. I really like fantasy, romantasy, lit fiction. I do like some historical fiction, and yeah. And then this is Olivia. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Olivia. I don't remember the points that you just talked about, so now I have to come up with my own. I am from Louisiana, live in Colorado right now. I have a dog named Apollo and two cats. Dog is asleep behind me. I don't know if you can see any bit of him. Um, I like reading mystery, thriller, horror books. I've been quilting since 2018. I'm of the YouTube University of I looked up on a video and taught myself. So I didn't have the luxury of having a family member know how to quilt and then teach me. So, but I will be that person now for my family.
Yeah, and
I think that's it.
yeah, she is my assistant. So any questions or emails might be coming from her or me. So just so you know, her face. If you have any questions on Discord, you can always feel free to add either of us, or you can just add admin as well. But you'll see both of our names all over the Discord channel. So feel free to reach out to either of us for any questions or support. Okay. And then here's our guest designer, Julie, who runs Running Stitch Quilts. She unfortunately cannot make the call tonight, but you should definitely go check out her work and her website. And I know, but yeah. So okay, so if you are new here, we're just going to jump into like a little mini new member orientation. We're just going to go over portal information. which if you're here, chances are you've probably logged into your portal and understand what's going on there. The Discord community. So I'm just gonna run through like a mini channel tour and go over all the channels that are available and where they are and stuff like that. And then a couple other housekeeping stuff like voting the so long books, our toad circle map, and about the pattern. And then after that, we'll jump into picking up fabric, understanding the coloring chart, how to make your own mock-ups in Canva or Quilt Ink, and then show and tell, and then wrap up with some kits and Q&A. So that's the gist of what we'll be going over today. I'd like to say that the first week's call is always very me talking heavy. Just there's a lot to go through, but then every call kind of throughout the rest of the so long is either a quick tutorial and then mostly just chatting and hanging out. And it's a lot more casual. So just want to make that clear. So logging into your portal, the best way to do it is just to go to my website, Toad and So, and then the Toad Circle tab, it'll have all the different portals. You have to be logged in to access your portal though. So if you're having any issues logging in or anything like that, let us know and we'll help you get logged in. The portal will have everything you need just in the future. So, it'll have the link to the pattern, it'll have the full schedule, any discounts and partners, there'll be kits on there, it'll have a calendar of all of the weeks and what's going on. So it's just really the best way to kind of see everything at a glance. Speaking of the pattern link stays the same throughout the entire so long. So inside the pattern, there's a section where it says updated link. Every Tuesday, you can just click on that same link and it should automatically update to be to include that week's section. So if you're not seeing it, you might have to clear your caches or your cookies or your history, whatever. But it should be on there. You can also just bookmark it on your tabs in your browser, bookmark it, and then just refresh every time you go to it. I will say that it's usually up by 9 a.m. Pacific time, but sometimes I'm a little bit late. So if it's 9:05 and you don't see the updated link, just give me a minute and it'll be there shortly. So. All right. Okay, I'm going to guess the design challenge. So guess the design challenge is GTDC. I usually have it written out. So around week 5, every sewing long's a little bit different. Around week 5, we have a guess the design challenge. At that point, you have enough of the pieces of the quilt to kind of lay out and guess what you think the design is. Obviously, if you're in the cheater club, you cannot be part of it, like cannot submit guesses. But it's just a fun way for everyone to, see what they come up with. And a lot of times we find some really cool versions of the pattern that we didn't think of ourselves. There's also usually like a small prize for the top 3 guesses. So yeah. All right, the Discord community. I'm going to share that real quick. I'm like scared. I want to double check that I'm not in any cheater channel. Okay, I'm good. Sorry. Why is it not? All right. Mhm. Okay, I think I had to exit out. All right, I'm coming, guys. Okay, so I'm just gonna run through the Discord channel at a glance. I'm as showing it as if I'm a toadlet, just to make sure the Cheater Club or any of the uh, Toadster channels aren't there. But obviously, if you are a Toadster, you're gonna have more channels than this and different. Uh, it might look a little different. Um, so if you have any questions about the channels, there is a channel tour thing in the welcome tab down here. So you can always access this and see all the different types of channels that we have. Um, it's just a really easy, like quick at a glance way of seeing everything. Um, so you can start with the channel tour. Obviously, you guys get immediately put into the welcome channel. This is a good one if you want to turn off notifications, just so you're not being bombarded with random people joining. You can unfile our channel category here or notifications. You can always mute or include. Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay, I gotta go this way. Trying to avoid that. Yeah, so you can for every single channel, you can change your notification settings. So if you want to add, only at mentions, all messages, nothing, I just keep everything on all notifications just so I'm aware of what's going on at all times. But you can definitely pick and choose what you are notified on and what you follow. You can also change that into there's several different ways you can do that. You can also go to your browse channels and click on different ones you specifically want to follow if you don't want everything to show up on your left side here. So again, I just have everything clicked, but you can change that as well. So let me get out of here. Okay. Um, let's start with announcements during in town hall. So announcement channel is every week we just send that week's announcement. So that has everything you need to know about that week, whether there's a Zoom call, um, any other updates, giveaways, discounts. This week we had the book vote and a lot of different stuff going on because it's week one. But this is a good one to definitely have your announcements on notifications on if you don't already. Then we have our giveaway channel. This is where,
Wait, I want to interject
yes.
on announcements.
Okay.
There is a chance that you will see me or her sending a message where we have specifically tagged a thing in Discord. And so in the week one message for the Toadsters about the Cheater Club, there's a little blue thing that says no access. If it says no access, that means that that's something that is available to someone else. And for your tier, you will not be able to access it. So if like above for the week one Wildflower Falls one, you can see the name there. That means that that's something that you should be allowed to get into. And if you see something that says no access and you believe that you should be able to get into it, then let us know. Because sometimes permissions are a little weird for Discord. So if ever you see no access and you think I absolutely should have it, please let me know.
Yeah, and every new announcement, speaking of, I would always click on this week one, like anytime, click on the week one wildflower, or once it's week two, click on that because that'll make you automatically follow that channel as well. So definitely this is a great resource to keep track of. Um, okay. Next up is giveaways, just pretty much just announce giveaways and different type of things happening. Information about giveaways, when to post, what to do. Um, important links. This is also basically just important links. It's exactly what it sounds like. So we'll add the Zoom link. We have different forms. Like this is a Toad Circle Retreat interest form. Speaking of, if you haven't filled that out already, um, that'd be great if you did that. And then we have support, which is any questions about Toad Circle, like anything you can post in there. And then suggestion box. So like you said, any types of advice you have or ideas for Toad Circle to make it better, you can post them there. And I like to just minimize all these tabs. It'll automatically pop up if there is a like an unread message in there. So like right now, there's no unread messages, but it'll automatically populate. And next is general. So general is pretty much all encompassing anything that doesn't fit in a different category. You guys know the drill on general. It's um, tone and sew patterns, any pattern of mine that is not sew along related. So that's where you can talk about that if you have any questions about patterns, if you want to share your work. There's a lot of like fun things in here. We are dabbling with the idea of having a forum style where each pattern of mine has its own forum, but haven't gotten to that yet. So if that is something you're interested in, please let me know. Totes Animal Friends. This is just people posting their pets, animals. It's a cute channel. Feels good. Feel good channel. QuiltCon 2025. If you plan on going to QuiltCon 2025, we will probably be planning a meetup, or I don't know, it's just a good to know, who's going, what people are doing, so you can join that. Pickle support group. This has been around, I think, since the beginning. A few of the people in the very beginning really were obsessed with Kona Pickle, the color, the fabric color. And it kind of has morphed into just the channel talking about pickles. So that's, I don't know, it's been around forever and I think it's here to stay. So feel good feed. There is a lot a lot going on in the world right now. A lot of it very hard to deal with. So, this is just about posting your wins for the day. Maybe just some funny meme that you saw, just anything that you like, happy news, stuff like that. Okay, so that's pretty much it for general. Jumping into so long, Wildflower Files, this is where each week we will post a new thread up for that week. That way, if you know, everything kind of is like segmented. So, week one, we're only talking about fabric picking, and then you can just post your updates throughout the different weeks. So yeah, if you aren't following these, if you click on it, you can go up here and hit follow or unfollow as well. And then we also have the previous so long. So if you want to participate or you're still working on the previous so long, we still have this up for the end of this one, and then we will archive that eventually, and um, that will be gone. And then Cheater Club from the last so long. So this is just like a fun way to see people's mock-ups and what the Cheater Club was up to while the Mystery So Long was going on. And then book talk. So book talk is just basically general chat, but it's for only book related things. So just general book talk, I guess. Yeah, this is kind of what it's, you know. And then so long books, we talk about the so long book. So once we all vote on the so long book for this one, there'll be a new one up here, and that's where you go to just chat about that. So last so long we read The Frozen River, and the one before that we read Wolf Den. This is a good way to just see all the books we've read throughout all of our so longs. Why do I feel like some are missing? I think we might have
Yeah, I
changed.
think I think we didn't add the ones from before we moved to Discord. I think there were like two or three that happened before we moved the community over here.
Hmm,
So we could do a backlog of it, but it would truly need to just be added to the book reviews at that point.
okay. Yeah, interesting. Okay, book reviews is kind of like treat this like Goodreads or Fable or whatever you use, and this is just a great way to post a book that you loved or didn't love. It's mostly people posting books that they loved, and then chatting about it if other people have read that book as well. So definitely get your books up here. I think it's really fun to talk about.
Can you show
Uh,
the search function
oh
and then
yeah.
into, no, not that one, right below. up a little bit. Search or create a post. There you
Oh,
go.
yeah, so let's I don't know. Oh, it's just
This would be where you would search like the
like
title
your
of your
book.
book.
Yeah,
So
see
if
what's
you
there.
say, I just read this book and I want to make a review about it, search the title first because there's a chance that someone has also read it and already created a review. And if you search the title and nothing shows up, then go ahead and create the post from there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good books in here. Also, if you're looking for recs and stuff, you can, um, if you're looking for recs about like different genres here, so sci-fi, fantasy, lit fiction, you can filter through them, and see what other people are reading and what, get some ideas. Um, Okay, the hobby corner. So craft corner is basically all things not quilting related. So if you want to talk about garment sewing, crocheting and knitting, get sewing recs, you know, just a bunch of different things. And if you have anything that you want us to add to this, I don't know if you guys can actually um, create a forum, but just let us know. We can add it. Like I think last time I added stationery planners. Um, but yeah, we can definitely grow this up and or I feel like I'm in the way. Um, add more to this. TV shows. Um, it is what it says. We talk about TV shows the same as book reviews essentially. Just chat with other people watching that show. Music, D&D, and gaming nerds if you're into gaming. D&D, all sorts of things that would fit in the genre here. And then recipes. So this is something that's kind of also like the book reviews. Post your favorite recipes. Um, yeah, I've definitely made some of these, and they're really good. I've made this chicken soup several times. It's very good. So, I think that's it for Discord. Does anyone have any questions? Am I missing anything in the chat?
Yeah, you need to go to the welcome section for get roles.
Mm. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, get roles. One, you can fill out all these things. So, um, I mean, these ones are just for fun. The pronouns is great if you want people to know your pronouns. It'll pop up in your, like on your name here. So I think you
Scoot your
have it
head.
just, okay. So you have yours already in there, but if you want it to be like in here, so you can look, to add your pronouns that way. Also what types of books you're interested in and where you live. So, if you fill out your location, this is really helpful because if someone's like, I'm looking for Rex in, I don't know, California or something, then they can add the entire Southwest USA, and see if people have Rex. Or like if for me, if I'm like, oh, I'm going to be attending this, blah, 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 so I'll add all people in the Northwest or, yeah, and then only those people will get the notification. So it's a good way to just see everyone in your area as well. And then if you want to be part of the rage room or the unhinged reading room, then you can go in and like using these emojis to be automatically added to those. Um, yeah, so those are kind of like you have to request to join, but all you have to do is hit one of these emojis. So those are those ones. So anything else? I guess we do have like
Um,
your location this way as well too.
yeah, there's a where you can put your specific location if you want to. You don't have to.
Yes.
Please don't put your address. You city and state is fine. um, there's the introductions ones where you can say hi, give a brief introduction
Yeah.
about yourself. And then a place to share any of your social handles. So if you're on any of the apps, whatever it is, best way to find you, you can share it there.
Yeah.
And then can you click on the browse channels thing again and show how to make the get roles one pop up if it's not showing?
Yeah, so just make sure this is clicked, correct?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would just go in here and have everything selected and then kind of go through all the channels, and then if you're like, "Nah, I don't need that one," then uncheck it. Instead of, so you're kind of working in reverse instead of like trying to figure out what you should add and what you shouldn't add. I guess
I think
I don't.
in your way of looking at things right now, you may not be able to uncheck some of the things, but theoretically, as a regular member, you would be able to fully check and uncheck everything.
Yeah, well, I just followed the whole category, so I think that's why it's showing up like that.
Yeah.
So you can just follow the whole category. Um, yeah, I just follow everything. Um, yeah, okay. Yeah, this is like, I mean, this is honestly better than the channel tour, to be honest, but
Well, the channel tour gives you a brief explanation of like what's going on in there, but
yeah. Well, technically, I think these should do this.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to, I think 4 under welcome don't have, okay. Did we figure that out?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, if you can't see a channel that you feel like you should be able to see, like if someone's referencing something in a different channel and you're wondering why you can't see whatever they're talking about, browse channels first. And then you can always tag me in a message or send me a message directly and I can try to help.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out the server guide as well. Discord's very picky about what I can add to the server guide. So I have not like I would love to expand this so it's like that would pop up. Um, so keep an eye on this too as a resource page. But it does have important channels and stuff like that. Okay,
Oh,
going.
before you leave, before you
Yes.
stop sharing, the community hangout voice channel. So at the very top section, there's a section called voice channel.
Yeah.
And the community hangout, you guys are free to hang out in there whenever you want and just sit in there and sew or sit in there and work together if you like body doubling and need someone. Um, that's a space that you guys can always join. And
Mm,
if you plan on joining in there and like want someone to hang out with you, then you can go to general and say like, hey, sitting in voice chat. Like if anyone wants to join, it's always acceptable.
yeah.
Very casual.
But do know if you do click on these, I think it automatically joins you and you
Yeah.
have to like leave. Because I see some
Yeah.
people that I think accidentally click into it and then they're just in there. And I have to like manually kick them out. Just know that if you're like, why is my name in this? You're just not, you didn't know you're in there. Your camera won't be on or anything, and it'll just be like, I don't know. Okay. All right. Now that that is done, I'm gonna go back here and talk about. Okay. Now that we got that figured out. Book vote. So here are the 4 books. Every so long, I pick 4 books to choose from, and then you guys vote on which one is your favorite, and then that's the one we read. I usually pick a theme because otherwise there's just like an endless list of books in the world, and I can't narrow it down, and it's very stressful picking out books I think everyone would like. So, this theme I chose water, because I thought it fit the name of the so long. So, go ahead and vote if you haven't already. I'm pretty sure the vote is really close this time. I know I couldn't decide on which
Yeah.
one
I
to.
checked it right before this and we were like the top two were 4 votes apart.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
there's 136 people that have voted. So
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, definitely get your votes in. And then we will create that channel for you guys to chat in. And in the very last video call of the so long, which is like week 8, we will discuss the book, and I'll have questions and you know, the more people that read the book, the better that call goes. So, definitely suggest reading the book or listening to the audiobook or whatever. Um, you
The
pretty much
channel
have,
that we create for the book after we decide which one, or you guys have decided which one is winning, feel free to talk in that channel as you're reading it. The final discussion of like actual book club questions will happen in the last meeting, but you can chat your experience, like, oh my gosh, this thing is happening on page whatever, like in that channel the entire time.
yeah. And if you're posting spoilers, there's a way to do spoilers within Discord, and if you need help with that, you're just doing the two straight lines on the outsides of your text. So you do like two straight lines, the spoiler, and then two straight lines right after that. Um, but if you're doing a spoiler, I mean, we do the same thing in our TV channels. Just say like what page or what percentage you're at, like at 60%, and then like the spoiler or whatever, or at page 200. Um, etc. So you're not, you know. Okay. Back to locations. If you want to post your location on our map and you can find other people, you can go ahead and do that. It works best on your desktop and not on your phone. The phone version of this is really weird and tricky. You can go to your portal to access this. Again, don't put your address, just put your town that you live in or city, and then make sure to add your name or a way of contacting you if you want people to contact you, or an Instagram handle if you want that, just so maybe you can meet with other Toad Circle members or people that are, you know, meet some new quilty friends in your area, and not just have this be a digital space. So that's the goal here. You can also add your favorite shops to the map. There's two different maps that you can click on and off, but one is your favorite shops. So if you're traveling anywhere, you can check out this map and see if anyone has uploaded their favorite shops to that area. Anything else to add to that, Olivia?
Other than if you can't figure out how to add yourself and you want me to add you, you can always send me a private message with your name that you want shown on there and then your city and state. That way I can just go in and add you myself.
Yeah, super easy. Okay, if you are a Toadster, and you want to be part of the Cheater Club, go to the Toadster General chat or
Yeah.
yes. And if you just type in Cheater Club, it tells you. You've probably seen messages where if someone even says the word cheater, a bot pops up. I know that's probably redundant, but we get a lot of questions about it, so we just have a bot that answers automatically. But it'll give you directions on how to join that if you'd like to join. This is, if you're on the fence, this is a great so long to remain a mystery. So if you're on the fence and you want to wait until after this call, that's what we always suggest, to wait till after the week one call and then decide if you still want to be a cheater or you want to keep it a mystery. This one really, I feel like you can't go wrong if you like all the fabrics that you're picking. So we'll jump into that next. Oh, QuiltCon. Friday meetup, TBD, all around TBD for QuiltCon 2025. So
Yeah.
I originally thought that I had a workshop Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it turns out I have two on Saturday. So I think we have to move the meeting to Friday afternoon, nighttime. It will be super casual. We're gonna find a place that you can kind of pop in and out of, and kind of like brewery style type of place, kind of open hall. And hopefully walking distance from the convention center. So we kind of have a criteria that we're working with here, and just finding the best place and the best time is going to be a little bit tricky, but we'll keep you guys updated in the QuiltCon channel.
If you are going to QuiltCon and you would be able to do something on Friday, can you go and react to my message in the QuiltCon 2025 channel? That way I can have it a kind of running head count for this, please.
Yes, that is helpful because, if it's like 30 people, we kind of have to warn warn a location that, 30 people are going to show up. If it's 10, probably don't need to. So it definitely kind of matters.
It will also be partially combined with, if you're local to Seattle, Wildwood Creatives meetup as well,
Yes.
because she will be there. And so we're kind of going to try to congregate in the same area. So if there's overlap or you have friends that are part of that community or you have family members that you're traveling with, feel free to tag along.
Yes. All right. So long stuff. Yay. Sorry again, this is just a very talk heavy video, but in the future it won't be so talk heavy. Yeah, so here's some clues. You might have seen these. Can have a scrappy feel. I don't know, I'm working from the bottom up, but I am. Scrappy feel, you know, can potentially do this with two-tone, or you can make it scrappy feel. Pre-cut bundles, it is half-yard pre-cut bundles, just to make that clear. Third yard, if you want to use fat quarters, you need 2 fat quarters for every color. So it would be 16 fat quarters total, but that is still possible. It's just not how the pattern is written, but you can adjust once you get the cutting instructions. Guest designer rooted in traditional blocks, so yeah. Here's a little mood board. This one was kind of tricky for us to come up with a mood board, but I think the colors and the vibe are here. And then Quilt Ink, if you want to create the abstract view on Quilt Ink, then you have to use the TC People, TC PPL. You can and click on this link. This is in your portal as well, pretty sure.
Mhm.
Also should be in the pattern. You can also create these in Canva. So we have a Canva link as well. So just going to quickly go through how to do this. It's basically you just click on a one of the pieces or like one of the shapes in Canva, and then you can change the color that way. You can also drag and drop images into the shapes as well, but it has to be a print-based mock-up that Olivia's created. So if you have any questions about that, let us know. We can help you. Okay, so understanding the coloring chart. If this is your first mystery so long, we create an abstract view of the quilt. So basically, we can't obviously show you the quilt, what it's going to look like. So we create a, to scale version. So if there's equal number of, in this case, there's equal number of colors like throughout the whole thing. So all 8 of these colors are going to be shown equally throughout the quilt. So that's kind of how we work. Anything touching in the abstract mock-up potentially could be touching in the real quilt top. This one's a little different because they all could be touching each other, but they all will be touching the background. So kind of confusing, but it's also, this one's like pretty straightforward. So yeah, so touching colors, if they're touching in the quilt or in the abstract view, they are touching in the quilt as well. This is all, these are all in your in the pattern as well. So scaling is represented in the quilt. So this one, again, it's hard, but they're all represented the same amount. So there's not one color that's going to be more represented than another color. If you go back to this one, you can clearly see that this one, like this little mini block down here, had the least amount of fabric in the quilt, whereas this white background had the most representation in the quilt. So that's kind of how it works. Yeah, I don't know. So it works with prints, it works with blenders, it works with solids. I don't really have any like strong criteria with prints for this pattern. A lot of times I suggest having a mix of like large prints, smaller prints, blenders. If you're going to use the print route, having some solids mixed in there, just like a wide range of different types of fabric. But I would say you don't necessarily have to um, focus or overthink values too much with this. It's not going to change the pattern drastically if you have 4 medium tones and 4 dark tones, or if you have 2 medium, 2 dark, 2 light. It doesn't change the pattern too much because you can technically make this pattern two-tone. So you could technically do 8 medium tones and it would still read well, and then a light background or a dark background. I never recommend using directional prints in a mystery so long the pattern is not written that way. So if you don't care about your directions and you don't care if they're, going all sorts of different directions, then be my guest and you can use as many directional prints as you want. But we just don't write these patterns to incorporate directions for that. So some examples here. This one's just really bright and fun. This has like a pretty good mix of mediums, lights, and darks. This one's like pretty low volume, so a lot of them are pretty similar, but it's using a combination between, blenders and prints, and this one's just from one line, so that's a great way to just create a cohesive look if you're not sure what to pick. This one, I think we called this one Granola Gay. Lots of down to earth colors.
At the naming of the person that requested it, we did
Yes, I
not
did
call it
not.
that.
Yes. Yeah, if you're a Toadster member, there's a color builder channel, and someone requested this palette, so that's where this one came from. And this one, this one has an even mix of lights, mediums, and darks as well. Nothing feels like too contrasty. So, this green is not too dark. This light's not super, super light. If you like more contrast, you can go with a much darker green here and, and a much lighter background. But, I think this is like a well-rounded palette as is. This one's another Prince one. And this one, I think this one with Victoria era. I really love this one. I think it's also low volume, but low volume it leans more darker. So, even this light's not super, super bright, but this would be your contrast color. So everything else is pretty dark or medium, and then this light is just gonna pack a punch. So another Prince. This is pretty low volume as well. And when I say low volume, I mean if I were to put this in grayscale, if I were to put this in black and white, it would all read kind of like all the same shade of gray. Whereas if you have high contrast, certain colors would really pop out and some other colors would blend more in with the background. I think this is the Alaskan Sunset one. Lots of fun, bright colors. And then if anyone has any questions, let me know before I move on to the show and tell. I know I kind of just flew by this. This pattern is very kind of simple for picking out fabric. Sometimes this call is a lot more intense, but if you have any questions, let me know.
Yeah. Before moving on to the show and tell part, which is people
Yeah.
that have shared photos from the week 1 thread of the so long section.
Yeah.
To summarize it all, long story short, too long didn't read. This is the best way to go into it as a mystery if you were a Toadster member. And if you like all 8 of your colors together in a bundle, it will look fantastic in the quilt. So there's no way of saying Like I like these 7 colors, but I'm worried where this one might fall in the quilt. Like if you look at all 8 of them together in a fan and you love the way they look, go for it.
Yeah, I will add, someone asked about a gradient. So I kind of like to create mini gradients within these palettes. Just to create like kind of a cohesive look. So this is kind of like a little mini gradient where I have like a brown and orange and like a light orange here, and I'll do the same thing with the blues. And I did it here as well, a little bit of a gradient with these pinks and reds, and same with these greens. So I would say a gradient is would be a great option. I mean,
It
this
will
is
not look like
basically
a gradient in the pattern.
yes, correct. It will not look like a gradient in the pattern, but I think it would create like a very cohesive look to it. So, this is like a complementary color scheme basically here, reds and greens. And I just created like a dual little, and I mean, even here, like these are basically like several or too many gradients as well. Um, I mean, this one to the extreme where I'm like, I pick a very bright color and then a lighter version of something similar. Very bright pink, bright blue, lighter blue, and then just a bright green. Um, so yes, I think that's a good way to look at it. If you want to pick like 4 colors, then you can do, a light version and a dark version of each of those colors, or, a bright and then a muted version. So that's just a really good starting point if you want to look at it that way. Um, so yeah, if you guys see yours pop up at all and you want to speak on it, let me know. I'm just kind of gonna fly through. Uh, I think that's Diana's.
Yeah.
Um,
What fabric line? Oh, she's not at her camera.
oh, she told me I have it written down because I had to look it up to get all these swatches.
Yeah. I really like the like watercolor look
Yeah,
of this pattern or this collection.
yeah,
And the fact that they're all part of the same collection means that they work well together. And
yeah.
all you have to do is pick a background.
I think a dark background will look good for this.
Yeah. I feel like it'll help it'll help the fabric shine a lot more since it'll stand
Yeah,
out against the background a lot more. Whereas the one on the right, like it'll be very low volume and it'll be a pretty quilt. But if you really
yeah,
want your fabrics to pop, then the
yeah,
one on the left will look great.
yeah. I agree. I don't know if you heard that, Diana, but we were saying that we think the dark would be,
Yeah, he's happy about that. He's like, yeah,
okay. Yeah, I think you're just me. I mean, these are beautiful fabrics. Like, I feel like they're very artwork.
I think I
So,
found them because someone else posted about them at Toad Circle. So it's funny because like it
oh,
totally happens. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, they're very beautiful. I want them to
I
shine.
love them. I love them so much. Okay, children. Hello.
Hello. Okay, this is awesome. This is the cool. I want this. What is this? I
Yeah, I
need
don't
this
know.
fabric.
I
This
really
is gonna
hope
be
that this
cool.
is like the backing potentially. But imagine this if you
I'm
used it
imagining the
as just
backing.
piecing, because the pieces cut from the width of fabric would look like different colors,
If you did a two-tone of this quilt with
like
this
black as the
fabric,
background.
yeah, that'd be super cool. I
Yeah,
think
because
they
it would
mentioned that
it
this
would
was
feel
like
scrappy on its
Christmas,
own.
which I love. We love a January Christmas quilt. Tulip,
Oh, it's a
tulip
tulip
pink.
pink.
Oh,
I
okay.
could see that.
It's really cool. I love it. And I love this, like, I'm assuming evergreenish background. So cool. Okay, fun, fun. Yeah, this is the Victorian era one. Nice. This is gonna look really cool. I'm excited. Oh, how would you decide? They're both good. I do love these dots as a background. I want to. Super cool. Is this a Susie? I think this is Susie quote.
Yeah, I want to say these are Susie colors. At least the ones
Yeah,
on
I
the
think,
right
yeah.
look like Susie colors.
I think they're the same exact color. Oh no.
No, there's a dark maroon on the left, and
Oh, okay.
that wasn't in
Yeah,
there.
I like both these. Another full moon. Fun. Someone just used this as a backing for something else.
For
And
your
it was
new
really,
pattern.
yeah, for my next pattern. It's an awesome backing. So yay, fun, bright. Oh, this is Shanda's. So cool. This one's gonna look really cool.
It's a good way to pull colors. If you're
Yes.
confused about what colors, but you know that on Pinterest you saw this really cute art print or something, you can just use the art print to pull solids from.
Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna look good. Nice. Another, should I go dark background or light background?
I
I
think I
feel
like
like
the right one.
I've been really leaning into dark backgrounds lately, but I don't know if that's just my mood lately. Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't think you can go wrong with either. I like both. Oh, I
I think
love
Shanda's
this.
shared this one too.
I love this background fabric. Yeah, she did.
Oh,
This is,
yeah.
I
So
think,
sorry.
No,
go
you're
ahead.
good.
I have like a bunch of that metallic Essex
Mhm.
that I've had forever. And I was like, I was like, I have to use something out of my stash, but everything was blah to me except for that. So
Yeah.
Is that going to
this might be
be
the one I'm
the
going with.
backing or is that going to be your
The
background?
the background.
Ooh.
It like glittery.
Yeah, that one's going to look really
Is it
interesting.
like a linen or
Yeah.
like what? Okay. Awesome. I'm excited to see that. This looks like my nostalgia bundle. So obviously bias here, but love it. And if it's not, then this is very similar to nice, like a nice earthy tones. Again, if anyone wants to talk on there, I'm just going through these to share because you guys have so many good fabric pools. I don't even think we could post all of them because there's a lot in the Wildflower chat. I really love this right one. I think this is Susie colors too.
Mhm.
I also like the left. I don't know.
I like the left because I like pinks and purples.
Yeah.
I'm a warm person, so I really like the left.
Yeah.
Though I think I would potentially change up the similarity between those top left ones just because they look so similar and I wouldn't want them to be accidentally used
Yeah.
in the same spot over and over and over again. But that's me.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of Scrappy, so it has to be controlled Scrappy for me.
Requested help.
Yeah.
Wait,
So this
is
person
Marcy in here?
said they think that it needs two greens and maybe a dark background, and the dark pink looks more pink in person. So basically, how
Wait,
to
maybe.
use this and build it out to work.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay.
So
How
what would
many
you do
colors?
in this
We
situation?
need two more colors.
1, 2, 5, 6. Yeah, we need two more colors.
Okay, my immediate thing is that the yellow feels out of place, but I think to solve that would be to add like a very deep mustardy color. Um, so that's like my immediate reaction that the yellow feels out of place. Um, and then sorry, what was the other thing?
They think that it needs two greens and then a dark background. So the white that it's
Okay.
sitting on is just a piece of paper and like suggestions for background colors.
dark background, I mean, I don't know how dark that purple color is, but like I think like a really deep navy color would look good, like a deep like Nova from AGF. Susie's line might look good for this because it's kind of like it's like a warm navy. Um, so it'll bring in like that red and that blue. That's kind of what I would suggest for the backing if you want or background if you want a dark one. And then green, yeah, I think some like teals would look good, like green blues. Um,
Yeah, with these
and
6
then
colors, I feel like to bridge the gap, you could put something in between the darker red and the pink. So that way
yes,
there's a
like a
mid-tone
salmon
there.
color. I
And
would put
then,
salmon color.
yeah, and then something to pair up with the yellow, like a darker version of the yellow. So if you were to take, like if you were to go on Canva and use the eyedropper tool to pick up that yellow color and then just move it around on where it lands to get to a darker version of that yellow or like a more orange version of the yellow or something, I think that could work.
Yeah, and I would almost say if you're looking to add two greenish colors, I would mix the yellow, add a salmon color between the red and the pink, and then add in those two green colors. That would be, but I'm also like I struggle hard using yellow. I don't know what it is, but every time I try to use it, I I think it's hard to find those darker yellow tones because sometimes they just don't. I don't know. Um, I can come up with a little mock-up though and see some ideas. Okay, open. Yeah, yeah, I think that would be my suggestion then. I would say in between the red and the pink and add two greens instead of the like let me see. Like I'm thinking there are a couple greens. I don't know. No, I can't really tell. Okay. Yeah, you know what it is? I think it's because this blue, red, and yellow are like the three primary colors. And that's just like very in your face almost. Whereas if you just remove that yellow, it does not feel like that at all. So
Yeah, I think if you remove the yellow and focused on the like blue, purple, red, pink side of the color
yes.
wheel, that could look
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. And I almost feel like I have a color palette in mind that could work. Okay, and
Yeah,
are
if
we
Marcy, if you'll send that picture in the week 1 Discord thing for Wildflower Falls, just as a way to put it somewhere public or public, Taylor can use it to try to brainstorm.
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to do it on the fly. I'm a very visual person. Okay, are we looking for which one or are these decided? Do we
Mhm.
know?
Yeah, I think both of these were shared as a I could do this or I could do this. So
Mm.
I think I like the right one
Yeah, I
because
like the right
I
one, I think.
those colors speak to me more, I think. And the scale of these I think are good.
Yeah.
Um, which I feel like
I
we didn't
think
really talk about scale, print scale too much.
yeah. I touched on just having a variety. If you're going to use a large print, then I would supplement it with some smaller scale prints or blenders to go with that. Yeah, I definitely think the right feels more cohesive as a whole color scheme. So it feels like all the colors will pop on their own. Um,
I think the left could look nice if the background was a different color.
yeah, that's what I was just
Like if
thinking.
you took
I,
the black flowers out and put that blue there and then put a different background color because all of those colors look really nice together.
I was under the thing to swap out this blue with this pink color. If you swap these two
Mm,
colors, I think that would be good.
Yeah.
if you want to go with that direction.
Blender is a print that has very
Like
minimal designs on it. Yeah.
this is a blender.
Or the one
This
to
is
the
a
right.
blender.
Yeah.
This is a blender. It's like it almost can read as a solid when you're looking at it from far away. It's very subtle. Whereas like this is a large scale print, this is a small scale print. I mean, these are kind of somewhere in between, but
I think Starry is about as far as I would push it on the Blender side. I think technically Starry from Ruby Star Society is technically considered a blender, but it has so many like the colors that are in the Starry line have really contrasted like stars. So you can
yeah,
definitely tell that that's a print from far away. But it's mainly like a tone with a slightly lighter tone design on it. So it kind
yeah.
of blends in together.
Pretty warm. I like these.
Yeah, I like this one. This one's very pretty.
Yes.
I love that background color.
No notes. Yeah, I like this background color too. It's like garden fern or something. Okay, I like this one too. Yeah.
I'm really interested to see how these plaids look
Yeah,
throughout.
me too. This one might be a challenge because it's a big scale, like super big, but I think it'll be okay. Curious to see how it plays out. If anything, this might be a challenge, but yes, they are great examples of different scales, like huge, medium, small right here
Yeah.
in a nutshell. And then this is a great blender, solid. So this is a good mix between solids, blenders, and prints and scale. So kind of like the perfect example. Okay, speckled, fun. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of what we were saying earlier about having like a darker yellow. You know, this is like a perfect example of a dark and a lighter version of each tone here. Also, all blenders. This I don't know which one's going to be the background. I'm assuming just a light background or just like a
I
white
think
background.
there's 8 of these. So yeah, I don't think that there's a background chosen
Yeah.
for this one.
Yeah, I think this is a good color scheme. I like it. And using stash it seems, so that's always a win. And then I think this one is using all back quarters. So you can use 16 back quarters, but I think it'll work out totally fine because a lot of these are pretty similar. Like you can pair these off really easily. So it won't scream 16 fabrics necessarily. It, you know, and they're all from the same line, so it's gonna be great. Like yeah, you can pair off these tones, or even this one and that one. Pair off these two. So pair off these ones. Oof, this one's fun. This one's
I
really
love this
fun, and
background color.
I'm obsessed
Or
with
fabric.
this background. Love it. This pop of color, so fun. I I think these three, like a dark purple with pink and like a almost said mustard, like terracotta color. I love that combination so much.
It feels very pink Halloween. The black,
Mm.
purple, orange, and pink together. It feels like
Mm.
Halloween colors.
Yeah. Fun. Okay, we're running low on kits that are available. So I think Terra with Full Moon has a Valentine's Day kit, which
Mhm.
would look great for this pattern, and you would have it. Would you have it done in time? No, but
Mm-mm.
almost.
Valentine's Day colors are fine together, like any time of the year.
Yes, 100%. And then these look like they're out of stock, but she can do custom quilts. So if you have a color scheme in mind and you don't know the exact fabrics that would work with that color scheme, she can help you out with that. And then also Wildwood Creative, there's a couple kits available from her as well, and she can also do a custom quilt kit. So, and these are also available on my site as well.
And this one I know for sure is Susie colors.
Yeah, Susie. And is this in stock again or no?
I think so. Yeah. She
Okay.
restocked it for the final run.
Okay, so there's might be some more of these. First come, first serve though. Can't guarantee that anything's still available. And you know, I may or may not be listing kits this week, but probably not. But there's potential. Okay, any questions? I feel like I flew through that.
Yeah, if you have any like pictures of fabrics that you have been trying to figure out how to make work, but you haven't perfected it yet for your own taste, then you can send them in the chat or send them in the week 1 channel on Discord and ask people to help you out, ask us to help you out. Or if you have questions about literally anything, like sew along, toad circle in general.
How will stripes work? So that just goes back to using directional prints. If you don't care if the stripes are pointed all sorts of different directions, then use stripes at your own will. We don't explain how to have all the stripes pointing in the same direction. So if this is something that you feel like you need full control over and you're like, I want all of my stripes exactly up and down, we cannot help you with that. But if you don't care about that, then
Honestly, I
guess
love when a quilt has all stripes as like the main colors and then the background's like a solid or something.
Yes. Yeah. So you can use them. Basically, that's the end of that. We tried to write a pattern once for directional prints and it turned out to be a huge nightmare. So never again. Is there any curves in this quilt? No, we will always let you know if there's curves. It's going to be like, I mean, we treat it as, we let people know like way in advance before they even sign up if there's curves. Just making sure that, you know, people that really don't want to do them don't sign up for something that they're not going to be happy with. This is a very beginner friendly pattern. So if you're new to quilting completely, then this is a good pattern to start off with. And, you know, there's a big group of people to help you if you have any questions. There's no embarrassment, no stupid questions. I remember when I first started quilting and I didn't understand anything. There's a lot of words that you know, we just use so casually, and I didn't understand what it meant, and, you know, don't feel bad about it. I didn't have anywhere to ask it. So,
yeah, my search history when I started learning how to quilt probably would make me laugh right now with the types of things that I was asking.
what is a scant seam?
What is
Also,
HST?
I also just simple. I think back to like how I used to like seam rip things, and
Yeah, I
just like would
recently
seam rip.
learned.
I said like would seam rip every single little type of every stitch I would seam rip, and I look back and I'm like, that would no wonder I hated seam ripping so much. I mean, I still hate it. No one likes it, but if you're in the boat right now where you're seam ripping every little stitch, let me know and I'll make a little video of how to just
A fresh seam ripper with like a sharp blade essentially on the inside, and the correct technique will do you wonders when it comes to seam ripping.
Someone asked if there's a million square in a squares. No, we're not trying to torture you for round 2.
The anywhere between fat quarter and anything else. So if you had, let's say, 4 half yards just in your sash and a bunch of other like fat quarters that you could pull, you could do 4 half yards and then 8 fat quarters, because a fat quarter is half of a half yard. So if you took a half yard, open it up, cut it in half, then you have 2 fat quarters. So a half yard equals 2 fat quarters. So if you wanted to pull one of the half yards out, you could replace it with 2 fat quarters.
Yes,
Or
'cause
a
we're not
scrap
using-
piece that is at least 18 by 21.
Yeah, because we're not using pieces that are larger than 18 inches long or wide. So therefore you can actually also use this, use your scraps if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, make it fully scrappy by using. Once you get the cutting instructions, you can adjust as you need.
Yeah.
All right, I
Since
will.
so go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, since the original requirements are 3rd yards, that means
Yes.
that 12 inches, nothing's bigger than 12 inches.
Yes, and yeah, you could use 3 yards if you wanted to make a two-tone.
So replace all of the
Or-
colors into, and it be one single color. So if you want to do like a black background or a white background and a black fabric with it, then the 8 half yards. Wait,
How
hang
would
on.
you make it 4? 4 colors would be.
I mean, the original fabric requirements are 3rd yards. So if you multiply 3rd yards by 8, it will come out slightly less than 3 yards. I would say just get 3 yards if you're going to do two-tone. And then you would cut everything from the single fabric.
Yeah, you could also just do like 4 or 3/4 of a yard if you want to make it 4-tone. Are we making this more confusing? I don't know.
If you want, since we're calling for 8 of something and you want to do 4 colors, then you just double up.
Yeah, yes. So yeah. Okay, did we make that more confusing? I don't know. I will make a reel on seam ripping tomorrow. I'm gonna hold myself to that because it should only take 5 seconds to do, and I feel like I wish that I knew how to seam rip for the first 3 years I quilted.
Same. Yeah, it took me way too long to learn, and I think I only learned because I just happened to see someone seam ripping on an Instagram reel, and I was
Yeah.
like, what is happening? Why is it going so fast?
Yep. Yeah, no, I think this is a good one to go scrappy. I've actually considered it. I might do my first scrappy quilt, and I am not a scrappy quilt person. I like to know exactly what it's gonna look like. But I feel like this would really take me out of my comfort zone, so I might do a scrappy version.
I'm just imagining
I-
myself pulling my scraps, and I would be pulling like all of the pinks, all of the blues.
Well, that's what I'm gonna be doing. Like but the thing for me is I don't like cutting, and I feel like doing a scrappy version makes cutting so much more intensive. Like
Mhm.
it's like, all right, well, why don't we make cutting so much worse and more messy?
I feel like if it were me and I wanted to go scrappy, I think I would create my own cutting templates essentially, and then write
Yeah.
on the template like how many of those pieces I need to cut. That way, all I would need to do is set it on top of my fabric. If it's bigger than that, I'm good to go, and then cut and add to the pile.
True. That's actually a good idea.
Because otherwise, I would get confused.
I do. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go scrappy. I just cleaned my studio, so it's a perfect chance to really mess it up. Make it dirty.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, good luck to you. I do not have the ability to let go. I'm sure your husband will love having scraps of fabric thrown all over the place.
Yeah. It's okay. I just gotta, do it all in one day where I'm just like committing to the cutting. Well, any other questions? Oh, you know what? I also like the idea of the stripes going also, like doing two-tone, but using stripes is one of them. I really like
Now you
this
got to pick a
idea.
stripe.
I know. Now I don't know if I want to do this idea or the other one.
I personally think I would do plaid. I think I would do, I've done a quilt before where it was a black and white plaid as the background and a solid,
Mm.
like hot pink as the
Mm.
main, just for something like super bold. Um, yeah, I made that for someone and it was a baby quilt. So I
sounds
think
cool.
that would be really fun. Super loud fabric paired with a solid.
Yeah. Cool. I don't know. I'm gonna really think about this tonight, which one I'm gonna do. I'm right there next to you guys picking out colors. I have not made this quilt yet. Usually I work a week, at least a week in advance, ahead of you guys. I haven't even picked my fabric yet, so. But I think that's pretty much a wrap. I mean, any other questions? We're here in the Discord channel. I know it's kind of late for the East Coast folks. I just heard a timer go off. Maybe my dinner's ready. Yeah, we can wrap up here. Thanks for joining, everyone. Post your progress and what everyone picks in the Wildflower Falls chat. Bye.